Levan, you need to get bigger.
There's an extremely huge chance that 2022 will go down in history as the greatest year for the sport of arm wrestling. We have so many events and super matches lined up just for the first few months of 2022. But the big one, the one that's gonna break the world of arm wrestling, that might break the internet, is Devon Larratt versus Levan Saginashvili in King of the Table. I think this will go down as the biggest match ever up to this point. Before that, it was Devon Larratt versus Denis Saplenko. Everybody wanted to see that match. Every arm wrestling fan was screaming for Devon and Denis to have a match for 10 years. And it happened in 2018. There were so many people in attendance that didn't even practice arm wrestling, but came from all over the world just to see this match live. The footage of Denis and Devon is already close to 10 million views. It's crazy, and it was crazy, but I think this will be bigger. It's the classic East versus West situation. There isn't a big debate who's the number one guy on the planet, the best overall right arm wrestler on the planet. It's Levan Saginashvili. With his absolutely dominant performances in super matches for past 2-3 years, he's been on a rise. And he pretty much is the Everest right now, the absolute fan favorite, the one of the most entertaining arm wrestlers. You know, I think he is the most popular arm wrestler on the planet, Devon Larratt. Devon Larratt. It's a match everyone wanted to see, and before this match came to be, the match that everyone kind of wanted to put ahead was Levan versus Michael Todd. But because of the different leagues and the contract issues, they couldn't set up the match, and Devon had to face Michael Todd in King of the Table event. And with the performance of the ages, Devon Larratt absolutely dominated that match. And pretty much in everyone's eyes, he is the guy from the West who needs to have a match versus Levan. And I think it's absolutely clear in everyone's mind who isn't really biased on one or the other side that Devon is the underdog. I had a conversation with Devon in Norway in 2022, and we kind of were talking about, him going there and arm wrestling different kinds of arm wrestlers from Europe and Asia, and I think he was still thinking that Levan was just too high to climb.
I really love the top 8. Those guys are so good. I mean, you look at anybody on that top 8 list and they're amazing athletes. Watching the finals last year gave me a feeling that we really are very likely looking at the number 1 and number 2 arm wrestler in the world.
Vitaly and Levan?
Yeah, that was my thought. The WAL thing does throw a real wrench into the professional side of things. And do I think Michael can beat Levan or Vitaly? Maybe, but I don't think. I think I have to give the advantage to Levan. To watch that match, I was like, wow. I'm like, that's your crown. That's your number 1 guy. I met Levan a couple times now, and when you shake his hand, it's like
It's huge.
It's like, and I'm like, I don't even need to test these waters at the moment. Okay, Levan is a beast, and he's in the rightful place for him.
But Devon showed up in amazing form to face Michael Todd, and pretty much beat Michael Todd like no one has ever done. And I think he saw a light in the tunnel. And I think a lot of people saw it. They're like, okay, there maybe is a chance for Devon to take on Levan. Why this match is bigger than Devon and Denis? I think Devon and Denis, first of all, they pulled left arm. And even though we wanted to see that, like the match showed, the level and the gap was just way too big, and Devon might have a better chance facing him with right arm. But in this match, we want to see right arm, and it's gonna be right arm. We want to see a super match, it's gonna be a super match. both of those guys have collected a big following. I think Devon's following is bigger, but Levan is growing. Levan is already a big superstar in Georgia, and I think he's just gonna get bigger. He's a monster of a man, and I think people want to see what he can do. And Devon, he's always been fan favorite. People love how he arm wrestles, they love his charisma, they love his trash talk. Maybe they don't love him when he's pulling John Berzeng, but in any other match, people love Devon. And I think for Devon, this is a huge challenge, and I think he will be very, very prepared, and he will give his absolute best. And what will happen on that day in June is right now unknown. I think Levan is the favorite. I think he will train his ass off for this match. I think both of those guys will show up in a spectacular form. I expect fireworks. We really don't know what's gonna happen, but I can wait for the build-up. Larry Wheels pretty much did in a year what arm wrestling world has been wanting for 10 years. To bring Devon on, to have these big name super matches, and with the pay-per-view platform of Core Sports, it's just gonna take arm wrestling to new heights. And I cannot wait. All the King of the Table events, East of the West, and there's so many other events that's gonna happen next year, but that one will stand out, and I really think it's gonna break the barrier. I think arm wrestling might go a little bit more mainstream. If the match is dominant from one side, I think it's good. If the match is very close, I still think it's good. So whatever happens, I think the views, the eyes on that match will be nothing like we have ever seen. And I think everyone should help with that. Promote this match, do a viewing parties, bring your friends there, because more people come to arm wrestling, more people stay in arm wrestling to show how great this sport is. We will have the best from the East and the best from the West facing each other in a super match for the ages, and I absolutely believe that. I think this will break the world. So what are your thoughts? Who do you think is gonna win? What will be the score? I think it's gonna be 6 rounds as usual for King of the Table. I'm excited. I really can't wait. I would get in a cryo chamber and sleep for 5 months just to wake up in June. Give me your thoughts. Hope you enjoyed it. Stay strong. Love arm wrestling.
Levan, you need to get bigger.